Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Dicing with Death.
So, Halvar.
Halvar. Var? Do we have anyone in chat that can tell us how this is actually pronounced?
Does anyone speak Orcish in chat?
Yeah.
Does anyone even know if orcs are a real thing?
I am sure we have some orcs in chat. We've got a very high orcish percentage. Yeah, we got at least 9 Swedish orcs, 2 Norwegian orcs, 3 Norwegian orcs now. My God. I don't know if we have any Danish orcs. No. Ukraine's not close enough. Netherlands? No, they're not orcish enough. Well, we should have at least a few people that can tell us how Halvar is supposed to be pronounced.
So you have
Perfect. Got it right.
You have fled your tribe, your homeland, journeyed far through unfamiliar territory. Have you walked this whole way?
Oh yeah. I mean, I might have floated down a river for a short bit, but I do not have another means of transportation other than
swim?
My feet. I am part of the foot tribe. We walk. I cannot swim. No.
Then maybe we'll nix that river idea unless you want to roll a swimming check or die before you even start.
No. I'll have walked my way.
Or something. And you don't have any rations, if I am
that is correct.
So
I am naked and afraid.
I don't think we can have you starve to death before you even start. That seems a little cruel, but we should probably pick up with Halvar trying to feed himself in the wilderness, right?
Lovely.
And you are a proficient hunter. Did you learn this from your tribe?
Yeah. I mean, I think I learned everything from my mother specifically. I think it's very much she was the only one who would teach me and the only one who was even remotely kind to me. And I was strong social outcast from the rest of the tribe. So anything I have or I've learned, I've probably learned from her. And I think I was also probably a mix of pride and shame for her as well. As I've got this kid. I love my kid, of course, but it's a half-human kid, and it's causing me no end of social embarrassment to have this half-human child. Oh, God, what a crazy drunken night. Oh, well, that sort of mentality. So I learned all
probably
things.
Were a lot of nights like that. She was a wild woman.
Certainly.
A true orcish raider.
Mm-hmm.
And this is her steel battle axe you have, right? Or her loot.
Right. So where am I? Am I here? On the map?
Let's see. Maybe roughly. I don't think you know where you are, right? Do you have any
No.
Any in-character knowledge of the landscape?
Definitely not this area. I have traveled far, far away from my home.
Yeah. You've probably lost track of time, but...
Okay. So I'm in a hilly region, though?
Foresty hills. Okay. The usual. And I think we'll start by seeing if you can... I mean, I think you're gonna go hunting for food, right?
I suppose that's where we're starting.
That's what you would be doing to feed yourself?
Mm-hmm. All right, 1d20 plus 6. This is how we hunt for food, people. We don't find any.
Yeah. So on the first day of Halvar's campaign, you go hungry, right? And does it specify a timeline, or are we just going to do a check a day? Is it every couple of hours?
It doesn't specify. It just says if you roll a successful check, you come to 1d100 plus 100 yards of an animal.
Yeah, I think I think we'll roll by the day for now. Do you? This is what you wanted, right? You wanted to start in the woods. You don't want to throw you into civilization.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not ready for civilization yet.
Yeah. So you go hungry. I hadn't thought to mechanize starvation mechanics.
Is that one? If I fail a check, does that mean I spent the whole day hunting?
I think so, unless we wanted to get even more granular and break it into partial days. I mean, you didn't sit still, right? You can hunt while you travel,
Right. Okay.
or we can punctuate it with various encounters. But I think that we'll do one roll per day to encapsulate your
Okay.
progress. I'm trying to experiment with dynamic lighting on another layer, but we may or may not get that working on this day. So let's see. I'm not sure if I like the scale of this map because it seems like you could cross the whole thing in a day. This is what McTaggy. I don't know how he worked out the scale.
Um, 7.5 miles from Wodheim to Bobstown through rugged terrain.
It's like a day's journey.
It's like 3/4 of a day or something.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. Lost in the woods, I don't know if you can travel in straight lines unless you are attempting to get somewhere.
I doubt it.
But do you know which way you want to be heading? I don't know.
You might as well have a blank screen for me. I am wandering the wilderness, trying to find food with no purpose as of yet. Sort of just.
All right, then maybe we will
survival.
take or step away from this screen then.
Okay.
I do have some leftover forest scenes from previous campaigns, but I've also got found some free battle maps by a Mr. Valor. I think I saw NECA posted these on the Discord at some point.
Ah.
So I may try playing with those as well as various tokens. And we will see. See if I can get us a Halvar token that moves around. I probably need to associate this with a specific character, don't I? But anyways, so here we've got a Halvar lost in the woods. So maybe I'll get my dice. Why don't we do that and see if we can sort out which direction you wander. I think with that failed hunting check, I may roll to see if there are other encounters, but that will imply that you're going to finish the day hungry. And maybe start incurring some, I don't know, a ticking clock, con penalties or something as you slowly starve to death in the woods.
Lovely.
Dice. So do you want... Oh, here we go. Would you like to roll, or shall I roll your random direction?
Oh, you should totally do it.
Okay.
I don't know where I'm going. I'm Halvar, the half-orc. I have 7 intelligence and 7 wisdom. I have no idea where I'm going.
All right. Can you see this, the little Halvar lost in the woods?
Yes.
That token makes sense to you?
This guy right here? Oh, wait, hold on. This one right here? I see him now.
See him.
Yes,
All
I think
right,
I still, for some reason, have like GM access because with my one of my 2 accounts that I'm logged in with, I can like see the scenes and I don't automatically get switched. Oh, here we go. I can just rejoin as player. Never mind.
is
Now I'm at your whimsy.
I don't know how you have GM access to my campaign. It's
I think once upon a time, a long, long time ago, you gave it to me so I could do a thing, and that was that. I cannot move Halvar. Cannot touch him, but I see him.
okay. Well, you will wander that day, lost in the woods and in the hills. Eventually, the sun will set to your right. Towards the end of the day, you will stumble across a road. Signs of civilization, of travel, human activity. Do you stick to the wilds or follow the road?
Kidding, I've been hungry this whole time. You know what I could use? I could use some food provided by some nearby travelers. So I will look for a bush or something near the road that I can hide in and wait for some passersby. I can move it now to ambush them. Is this the road?
I don't think there's a road.
wilderness? Okay.
There's no road on the map. The road is on the world map. The road is not on the.
Cool. Yeah, I will park myself in a bush or near a tree near the road so I can keep an eye on it. And I'm going to half orc. That's what I'm going to do.
You're gonna half orc.
Yeah.
Well, let me see. There's got to be a way to set a token to a character, right? Not to
I
just
have already done so because I have GM access.
bastard.
I know. So sneaky and so fast. That's what happens when you put 100,000 hours of your life into Roll20.
It hasn't been that long, has it?
No, it's been
1,000 hours.
8,500 hours. At least that's what Roll20 says. That's how much time I've spent logged into a campaign. It's a long time. It's 4 years of work life.
So as the sun sets, Halvar finds himself resting in this roadside ditch. Awaiting an unsuspecting traveler, or perhaps, well, who knows? But whatever it is you're waiting for, you don't see it. And as the sun sets, you find yourself stomach rumbling.
Well, that's unpleasant.
Yeah. Do you? Will you make camp for the night? Will you?
I will take a right on the road and walk down it for maybe an hour or two, hoping to spot a roadside traveler who's pulled off on the side of the road that I can then go raid. But if I don't spot anyone within an hour or two of sundown, I will go make myself a modest camp and park there.
An hour or two of sundown, you say? Along the road, you can walk several miles an hour. And if you push yourself into the after dark, let's have you make some sort of stat check to push yourself beyond the movement of a normal day while hungry.
So maybe make a Constitution check.
I could see it being Constitution. Willpower would also be appropriate, but I'm sure you want to do Constitution.
I would much rather do Constitution.
So this is not you have no problem being hungry and walking.
Been hungry before. The other orc kids always stole my lunch money. My lunch rations. I'm so used to being hungry.
And you can follow follow the road from half an hour after dark to find a human settlement along the road. A small village. I don't know if I have a map handy, but if you would like to raid humans and murder townsfolk, that may be an option available to you.
Perfect. I would love to raid humans and eat townsfolk.
Let's... I feel like I should have known that you would want to murder humans. That probably should have been like the first thing that I prepped, huh? Was a just an innocent, unsuspecting village for you to romp into and slay zeroth level townsfolk.
Yeah, or you know, it's fine. You can put me against goblins instead of people. I don't know what's down the road. Would it make you feel better? I'm quite comfortable with whatever, you know. People, goblins, it's all the same to me. They're all non-orcs.
So what is your approach here? You see before you on the road in the darkness is the fires of human settlement. There is no wall around this town. We may have given a description once before, but I think it is fairly nondescript. Maybe I'll see if it's even on the wiki. But do you simply march into town and approach the first house you see and...
No. You don't just walk into town. You gotta, like, perch up and get the lay of the land for a little while. Maybe spend 20 minutes observing the area, trying to, like, locate an isolated building away from the rest of them. Is there something on the road that's maybe a little isolated? Or if I, like, you know, go off the road and around, maybe there's a something somewhere that is a little bit away from everything else.
You should have 24 max HP, correct?
We had talked about doing con or con plus HP adjust. And earlier today,
con plus HP adjust. What happened earlier today?
Earlier today, you said it was just con, so I changed it back to 19.
No, it's fast talking. Just con, I think, would be for a non-fighter or for a non-exceptional strength or non-exceptional con character. I think I like this. It sort of makes for exceptional con. So if you have high con, you get a slight. So that the high con will just make it like a exponential, right? Rather, something like that exponential increase. And then the exceptional con is similar to it's a warrior only buff for having really high con. 24 seems fine. We may tap into that as the campaign goes on. And, like, give you permanent penalties if you starve to death or something.
Lovely.
So, I went ahead and switched you back to the world's map.
Nice.
So it is dark, but you can maybe roll a perception check to get the lay of the land.
1d20 plus 13. Oh, yeah. I lay the land. Is laying before me.
Yeah, so before you is a small human settlement, a village built upon a flat plain, probably built here for its topography, right? It made a simple spot to build to till farms and fields and grow various
various
produce, whatever
foods,
various foodstuffs.
Nice.
Perhaps there are even livestock on farms as well. There's not I guess east of town, there are maybe some hills that you can see just barely in the twilight, just based on like the as the sun was setting behind you, maybe based on the curvature of the landscape.
Mm-hmm.
But from this side, it is more or less a flat plain with a simple road leading towards town.
Excellent. Well, now that I have the lay of the land, I want to specifically look for darkened buildings that are as far that are distant from others. The objective being to, how do you say, find a place that I could enter that might not be filled with armed warriors.
I don't know why you're so used to orcish lands where everyone was a warrior.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's my understanding of the world is that everyone's a fighter of some kind.
Yeah, I think some of the first buildings, well, one of the first buildings you would find would be an abandoned shack in the on the outskirts of town. That shouldn't be too difficult to locate.
Great. I will...
You're looking for shelter? Is that what you were...
No, I'm looking for a place with food.
Okay.
I want to go into this abandoned building and scour it for food. And marvel at these massive walls. Look at this building.
Actually, not that
this
massive.
construction is fantastic.
A crude wooden... You probably find first like a crude wooden shed.
It has a roof.
Yeah, maybe
God.
you're not familiar with human architecture, but you'll find very little of interest here. Roll an intelligence check to search, to investigate the farm. Yeah.
These walls, they're made out of wood instead of mud. My God, the person who built this must be an amazing builder. Wonder who it was.
And why they would leave it so abandoned. So there's enough room for you to stand up in here and even probably lie down. I think the failed investigation just means you're not going to find anything of use of note. Certainly nothing edible.
Well, it would be a shame to destroy such a fine specimen of architecture. I'll just leave it alone and go find another hut. Sorry, what were we saying?
No, you can see now in the darkness some flickering lights turning on in the distance, letting you know that the village is just down the road.
Maybe I should go to a place where there are people. Who would store their food where they're not? That's a ridiculous notion. God, Halvar, you're such an idiot for coming into this place. Of course there's no food here. Let's go to the lights. There's always food where there's people. I will exit the shed and slink off the side of the road a little bit, down the road. So I don't know if it's like a flat road or if there's like a ditch on either side or any side, but I will be off the road maybe 10 feet, crouched over, running low and fast.
Yeah. So there is a roadside ditch you can hide in. You're waiting here in ambush.
Mm-hmm.
Is that?
I want to walk down the road towards the lights until I have a better understanding of what's down there.
Yeah, you walk down the road. I mean, the first lit building you find will be a farmhouse on the outskirts of town.
Does it have glass windows or just open windows or no windows?
There are glass common. I think there's just shutters on the windows.
Okay. Then I'll creep up to one of the shutters and try and put one of my fat half-orc eyes in a spot where I can look through two of the shutter slats to see what's inside.
Mm-hmm. Maybe there was a wall around this village. Just perusing the wiki.
The
Old Solomon Wiki. Yeah. So I think past these outlying farmhouses, there's a walled central village. What were you saying you were doing at this farmhouse?
I'm peering in through the slats, looking at my prey.
Roll a perception check to see if you can see anything through the slatted window.
/R, not /T. Damn.
No, I mean you can't. There's lights on. There's flickering.
Slats are angled poorly.
Lights, but you are not able to. You're not able to see anything, but you do hear a voice inside. Maybe it takes you a split second to translate it.
Mm-hmm.
But in the common tongue, you hear a woman's voice. Hello? Is there someone there?
Halvar thinks to himself, women make the sweetest meat. Let's go in. And I will slink around the edge of the building and look for a door.
You circle around to the front of the building, and there is a front door. You're some distance away from the road here. Right? There's a small walkway that led up to.
Halvar stretches out a little bit, gets his back nice and limber, does some stretches, pulls out his battle axe and his hand axe, and with 7 intelligence, I'm gonna say I don't open the door. I try to kick down the door.
All right, roll a open doors check via your strength.
All right, our 1d20 less than 6. Less than or equal to 6. Oh, so close. I give the door a good firm kick, and it doesn't open.
You hear a scream from inside. Ah! And
Halvar kicks again!
Who goes there?
It's not working! Maybe I should try the doorknob. After 2 failed opens, I will try and open it with my hand axe hand.
Okay, so you spend a couple minutes bashing at the door. You hear a commotion on the other side, but I think we'll keep your failed perception check previously and just say that you don't hear enough to draw any further conclusions. After a few minutes, do you open the door?
Oh yeah.
I think, and as the campaign goes on, I'll need you to be more on top of these calls and this sort of narrative, but I think something like this would have been perfectly fine to have entered a frenzy in the process of that. It's more or less a full round action, but I think if you're doing something like trying to bash down a door, you can say you're also working yourself up into a frenzy over the course of that. So if you want to say that you're busting into the door, opening the door frenzied.
I would love to be opening the door frenzy. I've not eaten in a while.
Yeah.
So
it takes a minute to do so, but we can say that minute has elapsed, and you can enter the you actually haven't succeeded in. You've only got a 6 on your open doors.
Yeah, that's why I was going to open it with my hands and just try the doorknob after the second failed attempt.
Yeah. It is. Let's roll initiative.
All right. 1d10. Am I rolling to open the door or to fight?
To open the door.
So that'd be a 3.
I think.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So it's a 5 or a 6 would be the speed with my battle axe.
Okay. So you go first and find the door is barred from the other side, and you shake against it. I think.
Halvar was smart to try and bash the door down. Of course it's locked.
Yeah. So maybe you can, if you want to take the initiative, you can bash the door down or try to bash the door down again.
I will try one more time.
We'll say you haven't worked into a frenzy yet, and we can determine its duration once battle ensues.
Nope.
High is not good.
Berserker bested by a door.
Um, yeah. You hear muffled shouts from the other side.
I give up on the door, and I'm going to move over to the window at the end of if I have movement after my turn. Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah. You move over to the window. You hear a shout from the door now. Mm-hmm. Masculine voice shouting, "Who goes there?" I have a sword. And then you circle around to the window, which I think you will also need to bash in. Maybe you get a bonus because it's not going to be as thoroughly barred as the door.
Excellent.
You can try and bust into the window.
All right. I'll just roll the 1d20, a 9. I don't know what the bonus would be. Is it at least 3 for some window shutters as compared to a door?
3 for some window shutters. It is, yeah.
Okay.
So you punch in through the window shutters, looking into a kitchen. You see a cook fire going. A woman across the room screams as you sort of stand torso above the window. Do you climb into the window? Do you throw some...
fuck yeah! No, I'm going into my rage here. I crawl through the window.
And let's roll for initiative.
Five, as fast as I can possibly go.
Yeah, you come climbing through the window. She shouts, "It's in here!" And you, in your rage, get the first action. Do you... I
go straight for the voice. If there's a person before me, that's all I see. That and just sort of like dim red haze around my eyes as my stomach churns, hungry for flesh, any flesh at this point. God, I'm so hungry. All right.
You see a flash of steel in her hand.
The battle axe.
The rage takes you over, and I think you swing your battle axe. All right, you have no bonuses to hit. You're just rolling flat d20s.
Flat d20. The battle axe will roll a 17, and the hand axe will roll a 3.
Okay, I guess it doesn't matter. Roll damage on your battle axe.
I hack into the woman's body for 5 damage.
All right, you cleave into her shoulder blade. She goes down. There's a clatter as the metal spoon she was wielding falls to the ground. The man enters the room, sword in hand, and lunges for Halvar.
I think I still get an additional attack using my offhand. I don't know if that goes at the end of the round or at the same time.
I think it will go at the same time.
Okay. So then I would have spent another...
Maybe at the end of the round, right? Especially if you're doing a double with your offhand.
Okay.
We'll throw it in at the end.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So he closes with you first. Hitting. 16, right? You didn't have crazy high dex.
I have 14 AC.
Only 2 points of damage. He wounds you with a bronze short sword.
For 2 points of damage. All right. I take the blow, shake my head, and wonder if we're doing... I get a bonus to damage equal to my highest wound or the number of wounds?
Yeah, so with this offhand, you will get it equal to... What do we I want to maybe try both, or...
Okay. Well, which one do you want to start with?
What do we have written down?
Largest wound.
Largest, so I think you'll get a bonus
of 2.
All
right.
Damage rolls now.
So the short sword, like, barely grazes me because I got 24 HP. This is a 12th of my total. So it, like... Where did you say I got stabbed?
It probably grazed your torso somewhere. 2 HP wound is no joke, but
to someone with 24 HP, it ain't nothing. So I'll take the wound to the belly and just hack at him with my hand axe.
Yeah, you take a second swipe with your offhand.
Does 11 hit?
11 will hit. Yeah.
I will hack into him for 7 damage.
All right. And you fell him. Roll a d8 just to see how long your frenzy lasts.
7 rounds. And
7
if
rounds.
you think I'm not using all 7 of those rounds in my first frenzy, you're mistaken.
So, there's no one left in the house. But I think
I
in your
see
blood rage,
blood.
I think you descend on top of the man who you just brought down, and you repeatedly hack this hand axe into his face until there's nothing left but a bloody pulp.
And then when I'm done with that, I'm going to take my anger out on that door, and I'm just going to trash the place. You know, maybe there's someone hiding in a closet or under the bed or in this basket. Maybe the small pot is containing a person. So I will trash the place for 6 more rounds. 5 more rounds after I desecrate the body.
Okay. So some 5 minutes later, where do you think you wound up? Do you go?
I think I wind up.
I think if you're frenzy, I don't even think you stop. I don't think you'll stop to eat. Right? There's food in the kitchen. There's a cook pot on the boil. But I think you trash the place. You spend a few minutes using your what's the word? Your required your required extra attacks. Your frenzied attacks to mutilate the guy's face. You kick the door off its hinges.
I hack the walls to bits. I break the shutters. I destroy the table legs. You know, I upturn beds. I make a mess. And then as I come out of my rage...
But before your rage ends, more... a pair of town guards will join the scene. So roll an intelligence check. Or sorry, a perception check.
1d20 plus 13. Do I get like penalties when I'm raging to perception checks?
That seems appropriate. I don't know if I noted anything like that.
I don't think I saw anything noted like that, but it would make sense, you know? Maybe like disadvantage?
Yeah.
Still pass.
Let's see. Do I have any? What do I? Frenzy. Immune to fear. Disadvantage on perception and intelligence, maybe even wisdom as well.
Sure. Are you making these notes right now?
Yeah, I went ahead and added that.
Okay.
So I don't think you notice the guards joining the scene.
But I rolled with disadvantage, and I
passed. Then you passed. Okay, so you see them approaching down the road. You like bash the door off its hinges, and you see a few armed humans walking from the town to see what this commotion is on the outskirts. You're still frenzied, so maybe your reaction is to like look at them walking down the road and charge to engage.
Oh, that's exactly my reaction. That there's humans coming towards me, and these have weapons. Do you know how long I've been bullied by greater creatures? And now I'm finally the greater creature? And these things are here to take my food that I've worked so hard for? I say, looking longingly at the human bodies on the ground, ignoring the food in the kitchen.
All right. So I think you just come sprinting down the road at these guards, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you won. Let me roll up. I did roll perception checks for them, but I think you win.
25 is pretty good.
Yeah. So they don't like set their spears to receive a charge or anything. They're a little surprised to see this berserk orc running down the road.
Initiative.
So you close the gap first, and you make your attacks.
Mm-hmm. I run into the first guard, 1d20 to hit. With an 8, my offhand with the hand axe comes up with a natural 20.
Ooh.
How many d6s is that?
Let me take a peek at our Berserker document. I did also take some notes on crit systems. This is basically just my interpretation of your crit system. So on a natural 18 or 19 or 20, if you clear by 5, that's 2x. You clear by 10, that is 3x. They have more than 10 AC, so that's just a regular crit.
Okay.
You roll damage die twice. Don't double your wound damage or anything, or your strength damage. So you roll 2d.
2d6 plus 2. They are
nasty.
Hey. Yeah, 36.
And that will be enough to bring down a first guard.
Excellent. I guess I turn to the other in my rage.
Yeah, the second will get to return fire with a spear. You have a
14.
C of 13.
14.
14. So that is a miss. And you get you take another swipe with your hand axe.
18 to hit. Holy shit.
Is a crit. So with leather and a shield, he has 15 AC.
Oh, then it's not a crit.
Oh, then it's actually not a crit, is it?
Okay. So that's 7 damage with that offhand. With the Berserker rage against him.
But that's still enough to bring him down.
I got really lucky with those high rolls, but Halvar stands over these two people looking back and forth. These ones are too scrawny for food. But I will still hack them to bits. I will remove their heads. I will try and do a scissoring attack with the 2 axes to
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to make you roll for that.
No, the desecration just continues though.
Then, all right, so you decapitate one, and then your frenzy is going to end. And then at the end of the frenzy, you have to roll a willpower check. Are we calling it wisdom, or do you call it willpower?
I've been calling it willpower for a while now, but whatever you want, man. It's your session.
All right. Make a willpower check.
All right. 1d20 plus 7. 18.
Is a failure. So your frenzy ends. And you suffer -1 constitution until you have a chance to rest.
Okay.
Was the way I was originally planning on doing this.
Sure.
Which will actually decrease your max HP, won't it?
It'll decrease it by 2.
Yeah. This will just be for 24 hours or whatever until you have a chance to rest. I think that seems like rather than limiting you, you can do it some certain number of times a day, you can just do it until you run out of constitution or HP or what have you.
If I frenzy and then I lose my willpower check, and I frenzy again and I lose my willpower check, and I do that 5 times in a single day,
then you'll have -5 con. And
does it all restore in one day, or does it come back one day at a time?
I think it will. We can talk about that. What's fair? I think it would all. My original interpretation was it would all restore in 24 hours.
Okay, that means I can rage quite a bit.
Right,
that
so
you can incentivizes raging.
Yeah, you can frenzy potentially your your constitution 19 times a day or 18 times a day before you are totally incapacitated.
Right.
Likely you will have died before then, but your frenzy ends. Your enemies are dead. Maybe just now you come to. You're no longer seeing red, aside from the blood spilling out into the dirt road. And you stand on the outskirts of this human village, over the bodies of 4 dead humans, which you proceed to eat.
I will leave these 2 in the streets. I start to walk away, and I go back to the people that I just murdered in the streets, and I have this, maybe I should take some of their medals. Those might be useful. And I will grab at any purses or coin bags they might have around their waists. I'm not gonna dig through their gear. I'll just if they have any money readily available from the outside.
They don't. They're on duty town guards. But you of course know that their metal-tipped spears are valuable, that their shields may be useful. They are wearing leather armor, which would not be fitted to you, and yeah.
I wouldn't.
And yeah.
Wouldn't wear that stuff. Yeah.
Do you take their spears, or there's also
No.
a sword lying back in the house?
No, I'm just looking for the cash. But if it's not there, then I will just head back into the house and set to work devouring the human woman.
Do you eat her raw?
I think if there's a fire already going, I will I'll hack off a leg or something and just chuck it in the fire, and then I will munch a little bit on the uncooked meat while the leg is cooking
right
in the
off
fire.
the bat with the cannibalism.
Mm-hmm.
We're going in hard this episode, coming out swinging, earning that mature content warning on the stream.
Mm-hmm.
Right off the bat with the triggering backstories and the.
I will redefine
I thought
the
it was going to
term
be
murder
animal,
hobo.
but we went straight to the cannibalism. Let's just take care of this now. I'm going to need a
Prion check.
Constitution check. Yeah, prion check to resist the diseases associated with eating undercooked man flesh. This is the real reason you took that 19 con.
Mm-hmm. I eat the man flesh.
Let's actually have that will actually restore a point of constitution. You rolled so well. So you the point of constitution you lost from your frenzy is restored now. You don't even need to rest a full 24 hours.
Perfect.
You gorge yourself on man flesh.
Mostly woman flesh. They
yeah.
taste sweeter than the men.
And yeah, I don't think I'm going to add that to the character. I don't know if I want to, but I'm willing. I think that seems reasonable, right? If you consume the flesh of a humanoid, you can make a constitution check to restore lost stats. That seems. I just punched my desk. I think we're fine.
Yeah, there was a momentary hiccup.
The USB jiggled, I think.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Cool. Or not, depending on your stance on cannibalism.
I am pro cannibalism.
Yeah, you can't gain HP from eating this flesh. You might need to seek out a necromancer to teach you how to do that.
That's fine.
But yeah. And I think you're doing so well, you're so efficient, you can probably disappear back into the wilderness before anyone else comes. If you decide to stay here for the night, I think there will be complications. But I guess
No. I'll eat my fill and then grab whatever cooked legs I have, throw it into the fire, and walk away with them. Maybe taking a quick perusal. Did either of these people have any money on them, or was there any money in obvious sight?
Roll a perception check.
25.
Perception check to search the house. Yeah, you do find their valuables. Do you know that that humans treat minted coins as wealth? Is this what you're seeking?
I am looking for the minted coins.
Yeah, so you find, I don't know if it's like a small wooden box with 1 gold, 8 silver, and 11 copper in it.
I just dump the coin. Ooh, I do have a backpack. I just dump the coins into my backpack unceremoniously.
It was tucked away somewhere. The perception check sort of corresponds to you searching the house. There's other various housewares around. They probably don't use money on a day-to-day basis, but in a pinch, if they needed to trade for whatever that they wouldn't have, go into the village and acquire these. And I think you will flee the scene before complications arise. and a mob of angry villagers will find the scene after you have fled. 4 dead in Bob's town. A man mutilated, a guard decapitated, woman butchered and eaten.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a cannibal on the loose in Bob's town. Do you have any sense of which direction you head? I think you don't necessarily know, right? I think you get lost in the wilderness again.
Mm-hmm.
And probably find somewhere to rest for the night.
All right. I will do that. I will head out, look for somewhere in the wilderness to rest for myself, and do so.
Yeah. Do you set? What is your camping routine like? You've got this tarp that you drag around. Is that like strapped to your back?
It's in my backpack.
Okay.
So I've got the tarp and the rope, and so the idea is I can string the rope between 2 branches or 2 things, put the tarp over it, and then like find some sticks to act as tent stakes. Maybe I'll get some stakes to like stake down the ends to get like a small like A-frame little thingy, which would be I guess 10 feet long, and the hypotenuse is 5 feet on it. So I don't know how high that is. What is the root of 12.5? That's the height. 12.5 root is, so it's, I guess it's like 3.5 feet tall, 7 feet wide at the base, 10 feet long, and I just curl up inside that. Or maybe I'll double it back so it's only 5 feet long, so that way the tarp is doubled.
How big is this tarp?
It's a 10 by 10 foot tarp.
10 by 10, the perfect size. Okay, so you roll that up in a bag. That seems unwieldy to fight with, but I guess that's most D&D characters carry around. I guess having a backpack with a tarp in it is probably the least of our concerns.
Plenty of D&D characters walk around with tents in their backpack, and it's never an issue. I have like the smallest tent possible. It's just a tarp and a blanket, or a tarp and a rope. So I feel like I should be able to do that.
You build a fire?
I'm stuffed with man meat. Why would I need fire? There's already a fire in my belly.
And you park it underneath a tree?
Yep.
And go to sleep in the woods. You're at 22 out of 24, is that correct?
I am at 22 out of 24, yes. Although every 24 hours restores 1 HP to the lowest wound, so
yeah, we're not gonna make that. I want to figure out the dynamic lighting. I don't know how that would even look on this map if I made like blocks on the trees, but I guess it doesn't really matter. So you rest in your tent, but you are disturbed before the night is through. Are there any precautions you want to describe, or shall we just jump right into an ambush?
No, I think I sleep deeply and well for the night. So I just curl up in my little tent space and pass out with maybe like a leg still next to me, kind of holding on to it, waiting for the morning where I can eat more.
Yeah. Roll a perception check. Actually,
25. Doing so good.
25. So you are awoken to a disturbance in your tent.
What?
Let's see. I think your options are going to be to roll for initiative or provoke a surprise round, right? So I think we either have to roll. They beat you in perception check.
Ooh.
So I think you wake up, but you don't necessarily get a description before we're going to jump into action.
Okay.
So there's a disturbance in your tent. Something is in here. It's too dark to see, but I guess you have infravision.
I don't. Oh, I do. I do have infravision. Yeah. Do we roll initiative? Do they win initiative?
Yeah, let's roll initiative.
Oh, I am slow. I've got the meat sweats, and it's getting me a little bit slower to get up here.
Meat sweats. So you awaken to find spot at least 2 diminutive creatures sneaking into your sneaking around your tent in the middle of the night. They win the perception, so I think they find your loot. They find your I don't know where you put the gold.
In my backpack.
Okay, so you awaken to find one of these small creatures rooting around in your backpack, and the other just crawling under the tent. I haven't rolled their initiative yet, so I should do that. You rolled a 12.
Mm-hmm.
They beat you. Roll an intelligence check.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I'm a big fan of stat checks.
I can tell. I do not do well on that check.
Yeah. You hear some chatter, an arky-barky. One of them points at you. The other looks up from the bag. What is your action? You're rolling to grab your weapons.
I'm grabbing my weapons and beginning to bark at the diminutive creatures like a dog. Or like a wolf, I guess.
Yeah, one of them successfully stabs you while prone. What's the bonus for prone? I think this is actually going to be a crit because you're still prone. Like if they're beating you to the initiative, you're like rolling over to grab your axe. You start barking, and you get stabbed. It's not a natural 18, so let me check my crit table thing.
I have 14 AC.
You get that dex if you're. I think you can get that. You'll have 14 AC, but you'll get a -2 for being prone.
Okay.
-3 for being prone. I think it's -2 for being down and +1 for them being higher than you.
It's normally +4 to hit someone who is prone in melee.
Okay, so I don't think they're actually critting. So I think you just take a 3-point damage wound. So in total, you should be down 5, but your largest wound is now a 3.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to your axe. Just the one, just the battle axe.
Mm-hmm.
But you bark instead.
I bark at these people as I'm looking for my axes and working myself into a frenzy.
Okay, so do you get to your feet in this? Can you stand up in your tent? I don't think so. You can stand up and bring the tent crashing down, or you can stay crouched. Or
I want to crawl out of the tent. Yeah.
Yeah. Roll another perception check.
30.
Yeah, there are. Let's see. We all take a peek at my manual of monsters. See if we've got a baseline for how many of these critters to throw at you. Bum, 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 bum. And I'm gonna need some bigger dice. Or I'll just roll this one many times. More satisfying to... Well, for now, you'll stumble into at least 2 more of them. But with that nailed perception check, you actually hear that the trees are alive with commotion. So there's other things out here.
Perfect.
So you crawl out the back of the tent.
Mm-hmm.
Which actually does provoke an OA, I think, unless you withdraw. You're frenzying.
No, I'm frenzying. I'm not withdrawing.
So do you get Do you get crit from the? I think you get crit by the goblin that takes an OA on you. Yeah. I probably should have confirmed that you wanted to provoke that OA to escape the tent.
That's fine. I would have done it anyway.
You're just gonna take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a natural 19. You're no longer prone, but it's a back attack, so it's 21. It does clear by 5.
20. Well, if I'm not prone anymore. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it does clear by 5.
Yeah. And you can optionally take the double damage or throw the bones. I think was which would mean we go to crit table and we see if you get a battle scar or right.
Well, let's play with the new mechanic. Let's throw the bones.
It's not really a new mechanic. I mean, that's for now. I haven't made any additional crit tables.
Okay. Well, let's do it. Let's do it. So instead of taking double damage, we roll on the crit table.
Yeah, where did I...
Is this a piercing weapon?
Yeah, when a berserker is hit with a critical attack, make a saving throw. Success is recorded as a battle scar, or a fail is an exploding crit, or a throw the bones.
Okay.
So I think you're gonna make a saving throw first.
Death save?
A saving throw versus death, correct.
Right. 0 successes.
So you fail, so the crit proceeds as normal. If you succeed, I think you resist the crit and you get your battle scar. But so no battle scar, you just get a crit. Do you want to take double damage or do you want to take the
table?
Take the table. So you're just gonna take single damage, which is 2 points of damage, which doesn't advance your wound. For now, I'm just gonna consult combat and tactics, but I think if this character survives, I want to
You want to make your own table?
we'll probably develop our own crit tables. Dagger, it's probably piercing.
Yeah.
It's really
did you say a dagger?
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a D6 for the severity and a D10 for location.
Yeah. So 2. It's in the right leg.
Oh.
This is as you're like climbing out from under the.
Fucking stabs me in the leg.
A 2 is no unusual effect.
Right. Okay.
You get stabbed in the leg on the way out of the tent.
Mm-hmm.
I think in general, I would like narrative descriptions of frenzies. That's always fun, but this seems infuriating enough. So I think we can just tick into the next round with a roll on initiative.
Okay. So I spent that whole round berserking or frenzying. And this round, I start at 6.
Yeah. So you go first.
All right.
You have escaped the tent only to find 2 more of these creatures outside.
Oh, here, we actually have a little battle map. I didn't even see that.
Oh, no.
Perfect. Okay. So I see all these creatures outside. I will, in my frenzy, go to the first one right next to me. This guy over here, this toppish one. And I will 1d20 plus 0 to hit. The main axe is a 15. I believe a 15 hits.
A 15 will, of course, hit.
I will rip its head from its shoulders.
And
and
bring down
immediately
the first.
turn to the next one with my offhand. A wild miss. But I keep barking at them. Arr! Arr!
They return fire, missing. Where did your token go?
I'm right here.
CHP bar. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer, I think.
Ah. Oh, I should subtract my 7 HP. I'm at 17 out of 24. Arf, arf, arf. God, windows are closed. My neighbors would think I'm crazy.
Are the windows closed or they're not?
My
closed?
doors and windows are all closed, thankfully.
Oh, it's a shield. All right. And you will get an offhand attack at the end of the round.
Yep. Is it the end of the round?
Yeah, you can make
Okay.
your.
I didn't realize
third
they had make
right?
attacks against me yet. 1d20.
They missed.
10?
So movement. 10 will not hit. They are. They're wielding small wooden shields, and they are clad in leather armor. And the full extent of the ambush comes to light, or emerges from the darkness as sort of through the trees with your night vision. You see the movement of more than a dozen of these small creatures. Within the next minute, they will have descended upon you. Let's roll a d8 to see how long this frenzy lasts.
8 rounds, and I'm already 1 round into it. Oh, this is perfect. I will frenzy all over these people and then go hide in a hole for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks to rest up. But in the meantime, it's frenzy o'clock, Ryan. 1d10
Frenzy
plus
o'clock.
4.
Let's see how many goblins you can take. A frenzied berserker can take down. Let's roll initiative. That was your initiative.
That's initiative.
They, on average, will fail. Some of them have daggers. Some of them have clubs. I'll give them an initiative of 3, which means you'll actually tie. So we're just going to go into one big chaotic mess.
All right, I'll just start hacking at the first one next to me and then use my offhand against him as well. Oh my god, none of the attacks are hitting. I still get 1 more at the end of the round. I continue barking at them as I thrash it back and forth, letting the blood spray from my open wounds onto them. Eager to hack smaller creatures to bits after I've been the smaller creature my whole life.
All right, so you miss. Is that
it's
correct?
Revenge. Yeah. It's time for revenge.
There will be 3. Ooh, an 18, a 7, and a 20. Oh my lordy. One of those is a back attack. One of them is maybe a, I don't know. We'll say the 18 is just a regular hit, but the 20 will resolve as a crit. So you take 2 damage from the regular hit.
I fail the saving throw against the crit.
So do you want to take double damage, or do you want to do the...
Table! Give me battle
so you
scars.
take another 3 damage.
Okay.
The battle scars only come if you pass that save.
Sure.
So you're going to take, crit. Let's roll. Let's assume that this is a dagger. Again, just because it's happening first. We'll say the clubs are a little slower.
D10 and D6.
But don't get to D10, D6. Let's roll the D6 first. It's a 1, negligible.
Perfect.
And then there are more, but I think that's all that can get in on you this round. And next round, you're going to be fully surrounded.
Let me get my last attack here.
You get a last attack.
17 for 8 points of damage.
You'll bring down this guy. Oh, stop double Xing. Okay. And next round, let's roll initiative. How many opportunity attacks can you get?
3.
3.
I must
so
be
slow.
slow because I'm kicking this one that I already hacked to death. I'm already making minor attacks against it.
So they are going to attempt to overbear you. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think all 8 can get to you. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't think we'll say that this 9th doesn't get to you, but 8 will attempt to overbear you. That means they make, so you get attacks of opportunity first. So take your maximum number of attacks of opportunity.
I will. I just want to check up on a rule here. Attacks of opportunity. Don't I get to make them with both my main and offhand weapon? Isn't that how we were doing it in Frofro?
How we're doing it in Frofro, that seems silly but fair.
It does. It does seem silly, but it does sort of seem how the rules are. I just want to double check the rule. I know we must have double checked this for Frofro, but I have a hard time believing that rule is real, even though we played with it for so long.
Yeah.
Attacks of opportunity. There's limit to the number. Surprise characters cannot. The threatening enemy gets to make an immediate melee attack or sequence of attacks from monsters with multiple attacks. Yep.
All right, and I think our argument in Frofro is that, of course, we're monsters. We've seen the things you've done. But you just ate a person. I think you can get monstrous attacks of opportunity. That seems fine.
All right, so 1d. I'm just gonna roll 2d20s. 2d20 against the first one. I think those are both. Oh wait, I get +4 to hit, don't I, on these because they're overbear attacks, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, so a 13.
A 13 does actually not do it. They have 14 AC.
All right, then the second set. The first one is always the big axe.
You need 10s to go.
Okay. Second opportunity attacks do not go well. Third one, the big axe will hit.
Yeah.
1d8 +3 for 4 damage. Oh my god.
That's enough. That's enough.
Okay. Holy shit, that's a lot of these guys.
Throw 1 back. That's all your opportunity attacks. That means 7 are remaining, so they get to attack at +6 to hit. 13 + 6 is a 19. That will clear your AC.
And post strength check. 1d20 +10. I believe I get +4 for a size difference.
5, so I think you might win.
I get a 28. I'm sorry, 27. I should get a +4 for size difference, I believe. On overbears.
Even with they get a +1 per. Oh no, they just roll with average strength, don't they?
Right. Average strength, and they get a +1 for each additional creature.
Yeah. Even so, you win. So these goblins are climbing all over you. They're swarming you, but they can't bring you down, and they can't get your axes neutralized. Right. Every time they try and go near an axe arm, they get bit.
I bark at them.
Have you made your attacks?
No, I've not made my attacks. It's time for them. Here's the big axe against one of them. 14 for 1d8 +3 for 5 damage.
Bring another down.
Offhand attack. 16 for 1d6 +3 for 7 damage. And then Berserker Raging attack. 1d20 +0 is a 14 for 1d6 +3 for 6 damage. So 5 to one, 7 to another, 6 to another, as I hack into these small diminutive creatures and bark at them.
They're dropping like flies. Was that all your attacks for this round?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, we're rolling initiative.
Eight.
8 is a win. Back. You stand off. There's like a circle of goblins surrounding you. There's a tree trunk in the way, and your back is to like the tent. But they back off, giving you a little bit of berth. But you can step forward easily and swipe one down.
Oh yeah. You said I go first with that 8 initiative?
Yeah.
Sweet. I see this whole fray, and the smart orc would like go for the guy on the side and like try and work his way through these in a way that doesn't expose him to all possible number of attacks. But I am not a smart guy, so I will wade into the very middle of all of these creatures and start with my main attack against this one. 1d20. 13, so close, but not close enough.
No.
And my offhand attack against the one to my left. the 7. I growl.
In one last attempt, these goblins that were crawling all over you go for the surround. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 remaining. 1 is a 10. Miss. All 3 frontal attacks miss. A back attack is a 19, which will resolve in a second. 11 plus back attack is a 13, which is a miss.
That's a miss.
It
I don't know if
just
I've
the
got
one crit.
I don't think I actually get.
Death.
Oh, never mind. Okay, saving
You
throw
don't think
versus
you get
death. You don't get.
You get your. I think berserkers get their agility.
Right, but if I had defensive a bonus from high dex, I wouldn't get that. Right, like if I had 16 dex, I wouldn't get that additional +2 to AC on back attacks.
I don't know how we would handle 16 dex. I don't know if it would be exceptional, or if you just have 16 AC. I'd have to think about that. You take 4 damage, but you succeed in that saving throw versus death.
I do. But I am
think you'll
low.
come out of this with a battle scar. I don't know where you want to note that on your character sheet.
Ooh, okay.
I'd imagined making this more specific, like being able to say you lose an eye or you have a particularly sinister scar. But I think this is just how they're earning his stripes, right? You're going to come out of this with a collection of little cuts, scars.
So this is a battle scar on my back.
The battle with the goblins. Yeah, there's a
Ooh, okay.
This is the most sinister looking one, right? This is a 4 HP wound.
It's like the dagger got up alongside my scapula and just like put this big slice along the edge of it. It's leaking blood. I now get +4 to damage. I only have 10 HP left. I could easily go down.
Yeah.
And I make my last attack.
You get an extra attack at the end of the round.
Ugh.
Is a miss.
I will let out a fearsome howl.
Yeah, roll initiative.
That's why I'm rolling so slowly as I'm spending part of my round howling at these goblins.
You go simultaneously. 6. I'm gonna roll their morale check now, actually. High is bad. Right?
High is bad.
They break. Perhaps even with this battle scar, you can get that bonus. You could probably even leverage that for a bonus on your intimidation. But they are. I mean, you're not going down. They've driven their needly knives into you over and over, and you're still standing. You're still barking.
I'm channeling my inner wolf right now.
I think are going to go for a tactical retreat. So they move to withdraw, but you pursue.
Yes.
So let's. They're not actually fleeing. They're withdrawing, which means they can move at a third of their movement, which ordinarily would be 120 yards. They can withdraw 120 feet, or can they withdraw 40 feet?
Actually, that's a good question.
Actually, they're moving 6, so they can withdraw 20 feet, or they can withdraw 20 yards. But normally, they can move 60 yards in a round. In combat, they move 60 feet in a round.
Yeah.
Withdrawing, they move 20 feet, or they move 20 yards.
I think they move 20 feet.
Yeah, cool. All right, so they withdraw and scatter. So you're gonna have to choose who to pursue, I think.
I will pursue the ones I was most directly facing, which is gonna be these guys over here.
Okay.
And I will. What is the opposite of lumber? Like, gracefully running after something. Lunge?
Stride, lunge.
I will pounce after them, channeling my inner wolf, howling and barking the whole
jumping
way.
Check.
No, you told me to get rid of the jumping proficiency for hunting, and I did, and I'm regretting it.
Hey, you don't have to listen to me.
I sort of do, but not fully. So I will leap after these and start ripping into them with axes. Ooh, ooh.
And a hit. I think you bring down both of these 2 goblins.
And then I'll use my offhand, my frenzy, attack against one of them that's already on the ground. And
It doesn't matter. Roll
rip
initiative
into
one
him
last
anyway.
time. Yeah.
Halvar growls and roars.
Okay, the rest of them flee into the night, leaving you alone on the battlefield, surrounded by the body of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 dead goblins.
I
Your
think I'm
frenzy
still...
will eventually expire. I don't think you're I guess you could try and track them. And try
No,
and
not while I'm
down.
frenzying. I think right now I just stalk around my campsite angrily, looking for something. So I'll
How many
walk.
rounds has your frenzy been? Do you have any feel for that? I think we're only about halfway through. I think that was
this is
4 rounds, maybe
4 or 5 rounds, yeah.
But I
So
don't
I
think
will-
you'll find any more before. Yeah, they flee out of your sight, and
I'll just
eventually your
walk
frenzy will end.
around the camp, looking, and then slowly coming out of my frenzy, having the world
Maybe roll a
resolve.
willpower check and see if you do keep the frenzy going.
No.
No. So you eventually, a few more minutes later, calm down. Enough to take stock of your campsite and to notice that your belongings have been stolen from your tent.
What?
So I don't know. That will certainly be the money, the loot that you gathered. Probably the whole backpack, right? What did you have on your character sheet?
Backpack, my clothes, my tarp, my ball of string, and my rope. My tarp and my rope and my string are currently used to make my tent. So it was just the backpack and the money?
Yeah, I guess so. So the backpack is missing and the money is missing.
That's no good.
And the goblins have fled.
Well.
It is probably inching towards dawn. You're suddenly realizing how wounded you are, how battle scarred you are. Did you note that battle scar that you got?
I did.
So
I did.
Yeah. You'll have 1 battle scar. You can leverage that for a bonus on associated charisma checks. I guess right now it's just a battle wound, but
it'll become a scar. Yeah. And when it all settles, I'm going to start, and I realize my shit is missing. I will begin to look for, I'm going to try and track them back to their place. See, the footprints that came to me, because they scattered in different directions, but I want to look for the tracks that were coming towards me and follow those backwards. But we're probably at break time.
Yeah, we might also just want to wrap it up soonish.
Okay.
I know we started late, but...
That sounds fine. It is definitely ending time.
So let's resolve that tracking check, I think, so I can know what to think about for next time. So roll your tracking proficiency. I think berserkers are wild enough creatures that you can roll as a ranger, so no penalty.
Cool. Only a 17. That's not very good.
Either they covered their tracks or... Yeah. Or by the time morning comes, it's been so long, by the time the sun is up, either way, you will not successfully track them back to their...
there are variables. There are variables to account for that might push that over the edge.
You want to pull those up?
I
and
am.
see?
Yes. I want these goblins. Okay, is the ground soft or muddy?
Nah, I wouldn't say so.
Does it have thick bushes, vines, or reeds?
Thick? Probably not. There's bushes, but I don't know if I'd say they're exceptionally thick.
Occasional signs of passage or dust.
I don't think so. Is this on the DM screen of yours?
This is on page 86 of the player's handbook. Tracking modifiers, table 39. Normal ground or wood floor is a no modifier. Rocky ground or shallow waters -10. Every 2 creatures in the group is a +1.
So
2,
we
4.
had 15, so that should be 14, 7 +1s.
Yeah.
So that'll be 24.
Okay. Every 12 hours since the trail was made is a penalty
It's
of
been
1.
less than 12 hours.
Every hour of rain, snow, or sleet is -5.
Nope.
Tracked party attempts to hide their trail is -5.
Probably not particularly.
And then poor
Maybe in the
lighting
future.
is -6. But if we
Poor
wait
lighting
till
will
morning,
end by the time. Okay, so I think with the bonus due to party size, we'll go ahead and call that a success. So it
Excellent.
sounds like next time Halvar will track the goblins to their lair, and we may have a goblin genocide on our hands. Well, let's go ahead and count up the dead. One thing that I forgot to touch on before we started was the experience. Maybe now's the best time to do that. The experience advancement rules we want to go with. I had a couple of different options. First off, we can just do standard combat experience, gaining XP for slaying monsters. I had noted here in the class doc that it was 50 XP per hit die. That was before I double checked the DMG, which says 10 XP per level per hit die. Right, so a first level warrior would only get 10 XP per hit die. Given these were ordinary townsfolk, and they were and less than hit die goblins, we'll do 10 XP for these. Maybe in the future we'll upgrade that. I'm just going to go ahead and calculate 10 XP times. I think we're only going to do for slain. Who's defeated? Let's say you defeated the full contingent. So that's 150 experience for the goblins. Another 20 for the. I'll give you grand total. Okay. Another 20 for the 2 farmers, 2 town guards. I'll say they were 50 XP each. That's another 100. 270 experience points. For milestone experience, I was going to say I was just going to do 1,000 XP for a milestone, or another option I had in mind was to let you choose your own milestone by swearing an oath and then completing that oath for 1,000 XP instead, or 1,000 XP. I don't think anything that today qualified as a milestone or
certainly not,
or an oath fulfilled. So we're just going to give you 270 experience. Not going to level up. There's still plenty of level 1 action to have. You're at 10 HP.
I'm at 10 hit points. And you wanted to do 1 HP to the lowest wound per night of rest. So I need
we can say you got. Oh yeah. So you're gonna need like 2 weeks, right?
I'm gonna need 14 days of rest to get back to full.
At your natural healing.
Although I might only want to take 10 days of rest to keep walking around with my big back wound, so I get the +4 to damage, which is an interesting mechanic.
Yeah, I hadn't necessarily thought of the interaction between the way the natural healing chips off the lowest. That might be OP. Maybe it's. I figured the little ones would heal first, which is why I said the lowest, but I didn't even think that it's the highest one that gives you your bonus damage, which means. Yeah, which means you're gonna. Yeah, I wonder about that. We'll have to think. Anyways, I think we're going to wrap up today. We got about 2 segments in.
Yeah. That's good.
XP for creature consumed. No, you don't get XP for eating things, Neal.
I didn't say I was.
Bad NECA. Swear an oath to eat all the things.
Nice.
Swear an oath to kill the goblin captain. Yeah, that might be something appropriate if you want to go into next section saying, swearing an oath to kill every last goblin in this cave, or to...
Oh, yeah, that's probably the oath I'll be swearing at the start of next round. If I can find their cave or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, something like that I think would be appropriate. It was more meant as a as like a role play thing, like it to be swearing oaths to NPCs, being like, I swear that I will protect you in the event of harm, or I will fulfill this quest for you, or I will bring you this thing, and I don't know, choose your own quest XP. But clearing a goblin cave would probably qualify. You want to say anything before we wrap things up? You want to give any first impressions on the class, or shall we save that for some more playtesting?
It's fun to play because I got this big chunk of HP.
Yeah, I think that will get even better once we get you some skins that will soak up damage. Goblins will be even easier prey.
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited to keep going, get myself some skins so I can absorb even more damage, and raid and pillage. It's been a while since I've gotten a chance to play a proper evil character.
Yeah, I wasn't necessarily expecting to go the evil route. I thought we would just do like animals and monsters, but
oh no, I'm going to
murder. Are you too
murder.
close to civilization, and you'll wander right in and murder everyone? So
I will eat people. That is the way. I worship the god of jerky, of dried meats and cannibalism, if such a thing exists.
Not even dried. I think you more or less ate that meat raw or seared.
Lovely.
All right, then.
I guess that's it. We will be back not next week. I'm pretty much out of town all week next week, but we'll be back the week after, I assuming Ryan can make it.
Let's plan on it. Yeah.
Okay.
2 weeks from now for some more berserking. Maybe we'll get a full 4-hour session in.
Yeah, good. I will not oversleep. How about that?
It happens.
Great. So this has been Dicing with Death. Any final words, Ryan? Anything that you want to say as the DM?
No. Thank you for watching. Thank you for bearing with me as I shake off the rust. Where can the people find you over the course of this week? You got streams right here. Twitch.tv/Koibu.
Yeah, we are going to be doing a bunch of secret planning for this week, so there's not much going on.
Oh, that's my favorite. Tune in and watch the deer cam live.
Unfortunately, there's no more deer in my yard. I live in civilization these days. So
watch the squirrel cam.
Squirrel cam.
The Subaru cam.
We might watch some old movies while we stream, while we secret plan. And then next week there'll be nothing. And the week after that, I think we're going to be doing some world building and map making for some new areas, because as Brian mentioned at the beginning of the show, there are upcoming campaigns. There are 1 to 3 upcoming campaigns that need to be planned for, and some of that planning will be done on air. So that's that.
Fun stuff. Any campaigns this week? Is there an Akuba Nights?
We do have an Akuba Nights on Friday. Shenanigans on Saturday, and a Rise of the Dragon Queen on Thursday. Yeah.
Cool.
Also, everyone should remember that the new Godzilla movie is coming out this week, like tomorrow or the day after. And,
are you hyped for that?
I am so hyped. Lauren and I have been watching. There are, I think, 36 Godzilla films. Maybe like 30 of them are non-animated or like live action. And we're going through and watching all of them from like start to finish. And they're pretty amazing and pretty terrible. Godzilla is just clumsy and like waking up and hasn't had his coffee. And that's, I think, the story of every Godzilla movie is he like wakes up, stumbles onto land, and the human's like, kill it! And Godzilla's like, what? I haven't had my coffee yet. Oh no! And like trips and falls and causes havoc, but he's not really trying to cause any havoc. He's just sleepy and, you know, decaffeinated. And that's why he destroys
Cranky
things.
in the morning.
If you watch,
missed his alarm.
Exactly.
Busted out into a frenzy.
If you watch the old Godzilla movies, like the original Godzilla movies, that's pretty much what he is. He's just a cranky boy. who's being
Just
set
trying to
upon.
nap underneath the ocean for a couple centuries and woke him up.
All right, that's it. We'll be back later in a couple weeks.
Alrighty.
Bye-bye.
Until next time.